Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Today I want to talk about something a bit personal, something that I wanted to discuss about for a few months. You read it by the title though. I want to talk about two cats I used to have. I had them since I was, I don't know, a little kid. I had two cats, and recently we've been going through some old pictures, and we're still doing it, going through old pictures of certain vacation trips or other memories, and I found these couple pictures of my cats. I have a few more pictures than I do, but I managed to track them down. I knew I had pictures of those cats somewhere in this house. I had one with two of them, but I couldn't find it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why I want to talk about it, but I don't know. It's one of those situations where I can't talk about it without getting emotional, but whatever. There was a few times in a few of my videos in the past where I talked about I used to have cats, but now I got Steve, my parrot, who's right next. His cage is located here in my bedroom, so if you hear any noise, then I apologize. Yeah, I got two pictures of my cats. This is Amy. She's pretty much my cat. And this one, I have a better picture somewhere, is Milo, if you can see. And please forgive the sun glare. I should have got up and closed the drapes, but oh well. I'm doing this at almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. Now, I've had these cats, like I mentioned before, ever since I was a little kid. So they've been, if you ever had a pet that you had for a very long time, you've grown attached to them. And these are the two cats that I was close to. My apologies, the old batteries ran out, so I have to change to the new ones. This cat was pretty much my cat. In fact, my brother was the one who picked her out from the litter. And something interesting. Milo was actually the father of Amy, so, we got these cats from, I think Milo would have been a little older than that. Amy was a kitten when we got her. Milo was actually Amy's father, believe it or not. They're originally from a home from one of my mom's close friends who later passed away years later. She had both cats. She used to have a lot of cats in her house. And my brother was the one who picked her from the litter. I'd be wondering, how did Amy got her name? I don't know, maybe he named her right after one of his babysitters used to have, I don't know. And Milo, well, my mom's close friend, I think, came up with the name, I guess. So I really don't know anything about the story of how they got their names, but yeah. Amy was pretty much my brother's cat, like I mentioned. I remember she would always go in his room and she'd be scratching at the door, she used to scratch my door too when it's closed, because cats they climb up all over the place and tend to knock stuff over. I was afraid that she would I was always afraid that she would get trapped in my closet, because I have a lot of junk. I still do. And there's still some scratches on my door. And Amy would spend the night in my brother's room, and she'd be inside, and my brother would have to open the door to let her out. And she later became my cat. This was my baby girl. I miss her so much, and I'll get to the sad story later. And Milo was pretty much my mother's cat, which originally I like Milo. He pretty much liked me, but up until I don't know, I was in middle school, late middle to early high school, he started liking me more. He used to one of those cats that rub against you and headbutt, and he was he was a nice boy. He was a pretty kitty cat, just like Amy was. And yeah, and another sad story about Milo too. I'll get into it. Ironically, this year marks the 5-year anniversary that both my cats died. About a couple months apart, sadly. I'm sure people want to know what are some of the worst times of my life. 2016 was a bad year, but for me personally was 2012. Not because the world didn't end. No, I'm glad it didn't end. And what did I say? We told you it wouldn't end at all. But a lot of things happened that year. I was graduating from high school that year. That should have been a positive time, but I got sick during rehearsal week, and I could not miss any practice, so I had to go. Blowing my nose constantly on the stage. I had a cold that came out of the blue. And it was also the same year I lost both my cats. Well, anyway, it's gonna be tough for me to talk about. Amy was the first one to go. Both of them lived up to be, I don't know, they lived a very long time. I don't know, like Milo was, I don't know, I don't even know the age of the cats. 18, Amy was 16. She was getting up there too. Like she was feeling very sick. Like she would not walk properly, and like I don't think she would eat or something. And like for a period of time, like for a few days right before she passed, she was hiding up in the attic. Like usually, certain animals do this. Like when they get very old and very sick, they just lay in the spot, like be all by themselves and want to die. Well, Amy was hiding up in the attic, and we couldn't find her for a few days. Lucky enough, we found her, and then she was getting more and more sicker, and she would spend days like in the basement all by herself all day long. Like it was a tough time. I would go downstairs. She'd be like on one side of the basement, on top of some boxes, like laying there, and I'd be standing there crying because like I didn't want her to die. She was like I said, just like how Steve's like a kid to me. She was like another kid to me. Same thing with how Milo was like another son to my mom. And then this happened in mid to late March of 2012, where my mom let her out and stuff. Like both our cats were indoor and outdoor cats. They can come back home easily. But I remember Mom let Amy out. God knows where she went. Yeah, she lay down somewhere else very far from the house. Like the thing is, she never came back. And we were unable to find her body. We couldn't find her. She was nowhere to be found. So a few days later, Mom had to, make me believe that she really did pass away. Like she was very old and she was sick. It's just that it was the biggest pain I've ever went through. Sorry. Hope I don't tear up. Yeah, it was very tough about, like, anytime I look at a picture of Amy, like especially in the next few years after she died, I get very, very emotional. And I was going through a really tough time at school. It was a terrible time. Like, when you lose a pet, it really hurts you. Especially when you had one who, you had your entire life and you wish they would live forever. Like I said, I had these cats for years, like all throughout my school career. And yeah, it was so sad to see her go. And I still miss her so much. And but the good thing is I got these pictures. She lived a great life, and yeah, I'm so happy we gave her a great life. Same thing with Milo. Milo had the worst of the worst, because yes, he was the oldest. Like, he was also getting up there in age, and he was getting old. Like, he wouldn't go use the litter box, like, and especially in the last few months, like in the summer of, again, 2012, right after I graduated. And it's ironically, like, a few months after Amy died, my mom's other close friend died after a brief battle of cancer, and that was another terrible time. I'm telling you, 2012 was a very sad year for me. Anyway, Milo's condition was getting worse. He was meowing constantly. Like I said, he wouldn't use the litter box. He wouldn't eat. But, we gave him the best last days of his life we possibly could. My mom was talking about, taking him to the vet to have to be put down so he doesn't have to suffer. Which we would have done the same thing for Amy if she didn't wandered off, like the last time we saw her. But I didn't want that to happen. I never went through putting a pet down. You know what I mean? I never went through that. Like, if we ever did that with Amy, if she didn't wander off, I would probably, I don't know why, but it would have been tough for me. Mom even asked me the day we had to put Milo down. She asked me, do you want to go? And I said no. Like Milo was pretty much Mom's cat. Like, I loved him dearly too. He like I said, he would headbutt everybody, like, mainly his owners. Yeah, just like Amy would, but Milo did more to where I really miss, like certain cats I know kind of do it, but not as much as Milo did. Well, anyway, at the end of August of 2012, Mom made the decision for Milo to be put down so he doesn't have to suffer through the pain anymore. Right before she put him in the box, I hugged him, gave him a kiss, and said goodbye, and I love you. And they took off to the vet, and I pretty much just stayed home. And my mom, right after that, she came back. She buried Milo in the backyard, which if we ever found Amy's body, would give her a grave too around the same place. I saw my mom coming up the steps crying in tears, and I was crying along with her. It was yeah, it was also a very, very, very tough time. And around that time, even right before Milo died, we were playing about having a parrot. We were talking about getting a parrot for years. Well, like, I don't know, a year or two or something, because I always thought parrots were cool. And like the day Milo died, I'm like, I'm done with cats. I'm never gonna have another one. Like, I still love cats. I mean, I have friends who have cats, and I still play with them. It's just that every time I look at the cat now, it makes me think of the cats I've lost. And now that we got Steve the parrot, and now it's been 5 years since we had him, we got him in, I don't know, in September or October of 2012, something like that. And he's doing very well. And yeah, he's pretty much our baby. And like, I couldn't imagine anything else happen to him. Like, parrots live a very long time. He's a son conure, by the way. So he's probably going to outlive us. Who knows? So, yeah, I'm sorry if this is a very sad story, but it's something I really want to talk about for a while. And I almost teared up, but I'm glad I didn't. I just want to, like, talk about the pets that I have. I also had a few other pets that I didn't, well, I had this dog that was a real knucklehead, like a dumbhead. We had some guinea pigs which were really loud, and gerbils which they would end up in my brother's room all the time, and I barely see them. But these cats were the ones that I had a huge bond with, and I now have for Steve. And I can't imagine anything happened to Steve, you know. So yeah, that's like my personal story about my cats. I don't have that much to say. This is a video I never thought I would make, and I don't know if it would be kind of pointless to share the story or what. But if you could relate to this, like if you had any pets that you had a long time, and you know, like if they passed away or they were ill or sick, and like share your stories. Share your stories. Like if you had any pets that you had for a very long time and you shared the same grief that I had, you know, them losing, and you coping with it. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, we gave these cats great years, so many great memories, and you know, and hope you see Milo well in the picture. Like I said, I apologize for the sun, but yeah, you give pets the best time of their lives. You don't abuse them, because the people who abuse animals don't deserve to have them as their pets. You know, it's very disgusting. And yeah, as a huge cat lover, you know, I adore them, and it killed me when they died, but you know, you'll never forget them. They always remain in your heart forever. Okay, so I'm going to end this before I start crying. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time, and happy Sunday, and God bless. Adios.